This is a woman called Wholesale Ted. She has a ton of tutorials about how to sell things online. So let's just give a quick listen because there's a great lesson for people who want to get in to be entrepreneurs.
$12,000 online by selling vintage travel posters like these? The answer is yes. So I'm at the Etsy store. They're selling a downloadable pack of cool vintage travel poster images. Customers buy them to download them and then print them off to make their own posters at home. The Etsy research app Allura estimates the store has made over $12,000 selling this image pack. But here's what's interesting.
Not
They didn't
bad.
draw these posters. They downloaded them for free from the internet to resell. Because copyright protection doesn't last forever. Eventually it expires, and old pictures enter the public domain, which means anyone can sell them. To find public domain images to resell,
Right. And she goes on to talk about it real quick. But the reason why I bring this up, and you might say, hey, but I don't want to open an Etsy store. I want to do something else in business. But, I don't care if there's a small business out there that's making $1 million a year. If it's not making profit, who the hell cares, right? Nobody gives a shit. So the idea in business is to be profitable. By starting an Etsy store, you take basically no risk. And you're going to learn some core fundamentals. You're going to have to build a profile on a platform. I don't care if it's a website or a third party platform like this, you're going to have to learn to manage that platform. You're going to have to learn to interact with your customers. You're going to figure out where your customers' needs are and you're going to provide some sort of solution. On Etsy, you can provide cake toppers for logos for corporate events. And you don't even have to be the person that buys all the equipment and, invests a ton of overhead and capital in doing this stuff. You find a third party that does it. You generate the leads, send people to the site, and you get a piece of everything that goes through with literally like no risk and no upfront expenses. You can start a business basically for nothing to do something like this. And you can start to build business credit. This could be a legitimate business. So if you ever wanted to expand in the future, you're actually lendable now for banks. If you have an actual corporation set up or LLC and a business banking account, you can start to build your credit. And then when you're ready to expand, bam, you're already been in business for a while. But this is a great thing. And it'll let you practice the social media side of the house. So people that put out content, they never turn it into anything, right? They never generate anything off of that content. If you're creating content and learning how to use social media platforms to drive them to a site, whether it's your website or an Etsy site or something like that, that's going to be a part of your business regardless of what you do. So by starting a small Etsy business as an entrepreneur, it'll give you that confidence to at least take on some of these hats on what it's going to be to be an entrepreneur with almost no risk. So, you know, if you want to get in business and get started out and you're not sure where to go, start an Etsy store or something like that. All right. For other quick tips like this, make sure you follow us. If you liked it, share it with a friend. Other than that, stay profitable. We'll catch you on the next one.